Okay. 86%. Can I research 2 things? No, I can. Oh, wow. Cool.
It's always good to see you.
Cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Party Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
She puts her coffee mug on the table. You don't look surprised. You were expecting this.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two, then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
He reaches for a new cigarette. What's the RCM's involvement with the more lean turn got to do with this?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
He lights the cigarette. What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will
What happens if they do?
kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Oronese lit.
Thanks, conceptualization.
Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
What did you have to do, or what did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
He taps on his notebook.
The job was Lou's County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
That's a lot of stuff you've gotten yourself into.
It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting,
She shakes her head at the thought.
a lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Cigarette, miss.
Oh,
He looks at it and quickly tosses the butt aside. This is crazy. I'm sorry this happened to you.
so am I.
He immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
This doesn't fit with the testimony of Titus Hardy. He said she was higher than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby, you know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
He says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby. Where is this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
Very, very interesting. When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
He looks at her cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Either way, something to consider.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
If they want to kill me, they'll kill me. If they want to toy with me, they will. She's come to this conclusion weeks ago.
Why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast.
Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
So you would have led us to believe, but you're not.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Yeah, screw that sucker fool.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud, thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravachol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
When was the window changed?
Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
Takes a drag.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
Your bedroom inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
I don't like this question. think we can come back to something like that later. You said you studied Ornese Lit. What is with this fugitive stuff?
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene.
I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke, just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
Well, she takes a puff right there. The lieutenant glances at you, then at the door.
He's thinking, are we done here?
And you can speak up. We need a 7, so a 4 and a 3. That's pretty rough. Give it a shot, though.
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o'-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
I guess that's something that I could have and should have picked up on. She's a corporate spy. She is certainly smart enough to think of all this stuff, and she could be Ruby for all we know. Real name isn't Classe Amandu.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Voice cracks suddenly, like there's a garrote around her neck. Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
Good. You can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
The smile on her face is timid, almost painfully so.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo-Grad in origin. Not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music-infused alcoholism. It also makes Klasia almost an alacronym for Katarzyna Alazia.
Wait, Klaze is just an abbreviation of Katarzyna Lager.
It was a sentimental thing. I wanted to be more me here, this time. So I used my nickname.
A nickname? Who gave you this nickname, Klasia?
We don't care.
Someone's angry. She's in trouble.
Hold on. And that name is not even an originating name. It's not even Monday. It's Grad.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Alasie is my father's name.
We'll keep calling you Klaze.
That's cool.
Enough.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
I think we're way past that. Who made the call? I couldn't inspect any of... I haven't done any of the inspections of the wires. Kim has something that he's thinking of. We'll toy with this. I don't like this, and I think under most circumstances I would not do this. But I feel like there's something else that I can glean from this. I didn't I think you didn't make the call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergencies desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
All right, drama.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Okay.
She stands before you, holding her back very straight.
I don't like this. We're not going to go there. Let's change the subject for the time being.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
And we'll come back.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. Must have been a false alarm then.
Yep.
Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor? Like, maybe it can only stop small, fast projectiles, but a large, slow-moving pry bar would shatter it? Or, if I run an electrical current through it, maybe it will melt. Or, personal favorite, frequency something something radio weapon? None of that would work. You need to shoot the part of the enemy that doesn't have Fairweather T500 on it, because the armor itself is invulnerable. Good news is, so are the armor pieces on you.
Yeah. That's two-hand-eye coordination against enemies. That one's kind of boring. You've been listening to Biggie for a day now. It's time to throw down. Uh-oh. I was writing yesterday and I hit a snag. I think I have a good selection of like 4 or 5 bars. Maybe like 5 or 6 bars. But I'm hitting a problem that I ran into with, I think it was track 4, where I have a really nice flow going, but I don't know how to continue the flow, and it sucks. It's one of those situations where it's like I can continue, or I'll need to discard everything and start all over.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Begin the visual calculus.
The golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are 2 neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A 2-hearted spider.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. From the roof outside, location A prime, the glass fractures around the bullet hole, shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Like the ghostly figures?
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Look at point A, the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
So I'm what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them 1 shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside, in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room, a closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Sure. Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinez.
You would need a map for that. A map of Martinez.
There was a map on sale at the bookstore, wasn't there? We need one.
You're thinking, what if the shot didn't come from the roof?
Yes.
There was a map in the bookstore. We should come back with it, compare the landscape to the radius of the shot.
Good plan. My plan. Maybe I should listen to some Biggie as well. Maybe turn this one into a banger instead. Something like, as I grab the Glock. Put it to your head wound. There's one in the chamber, and the safety is off release. Put it to your dome homes. I want to see cabbage. Biggie Smalls the Savage, doing your brain cells much damage. Something like that, you know. Something Biggie like. From a Biggie verse. Not the metaverse, the Biggie verse. I forget what Biggie's song that is. A good song though. Matane. I also might have gotten the lyrics a little bit wrong there. Or even out of place. I don't listen to much Biggie, right?
Several maps. The maps look...
Map of Martinez. This could work, maybe.
Wow. Angry storekeeper stare down. It's cheap.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
Man, I just love how I have a great sense of direction right now. Just feels really nice. I know I keep coming back to this, but raw talk, like, that was totally just killing all of my interest in this game. Is not knowing what to do or how to progress things. You know, it's like what am I supposed to do with a 16 check? I'm not going to press that button and fail. They're just going to laugh at me and I have to go about my business trying to figure out how I'm going to pass it again. Probably with a even worse modifier because I failed it once. It was crazy. Unsurprisingly, I'm making progress and I'm having fun again.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner.
Trace the path.
Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Cypar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
On the Map tab.
The same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman. A ray of backward motion explodes from the man's mouth, through the window to the roof outside, widening into a radius, A prime.
I have the map. Extrapolate the radius to include all of Matane.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for Boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the Islet Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
I don't think I've been over there. The inlet.
1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime, B double prime, B triple prime.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
It's much less than the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
Okay. Alrighty. The Ruby was the organizer. Missing. Have you fully explored the whirling, analyzed the site of the murder, truly and thoroughly interrogated Classe? Yeah. Answer to those questions are no, 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 no. I have not. And I'm glad they're giving me clues. I don't know how I'm gonna get into.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
Got the medication?
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Pill sheets?
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
4 and a 3? Not rough.
A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
Cabinet. Haven't been in here. Okay. So... quite a few things that need to be done. Getting in here.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. It could be connected to the barred door upstairs.
Touch the door.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older.
What do you see?
Mm-hmm. So I have a couple of objectives now. I guess the question is, which objective I want to do? Oh, now I can travel here. Excellent. Okay. The get rid of encyclopedia. Go back to logic. Right, and then... Alright, Boardwalk, Island, Land's End. Boardwalk, Island, Land's End. Savoir-faire? Never been over here.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Okay, so we have a 6. We need 15. We need 9. 6 and 3? That's rough.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound, no movement.
Okay, I think the modifiers are added afterwards.
10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks, the sand, your skin. The order was carried out in the afternoon. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Okay.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Money. Logic perception. Okay. Some people.
Hello, I'm Gary. How do you do, officer? Yellow man. I mean, officer.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
A lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
What are some of these answers, man? What are some of these answers? Nobody's perfect. I'm sure you've been tempted to drink.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
Or have a call. Hey, Uncle Jack, thank you very much for that Tier 1 subscription. I appreciate that. Kinda came out of nowhere, but I appreciate it.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
Oh, so this actually, it wasn't just the voice actor. Enjoying Disco Elysium so far? I am. I was enjoying it a lot when I initially started, and I ran into a snag. I was not really having much fun anymore. And now, after I, let's just say I save scummed a few times, I'm back on track. I'm having fun again. Let's see. Is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
Can see, recognize it. It's in your eyes.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
He pauses.
You're not going to find me, are you?
Nah, Gary, I just want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Nice. You know you're getting around to this eventually, so you'll just be lurking up until now. Have fun. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
What would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Bohemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
Did you put the clothes of the murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the Whirling and rags, into the trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, yes. What happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant remarks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
What's that strange sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, and this time his motions are soundless.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash, Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
Move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Oof. Oof. We need double sixes on this one. You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
You have a problem with them?
No, no problem at all.
Flashes an impenetrable smile at the lieutenant.
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here, if you can remember it.
Right. See what else we can get with composure. Looking like not much. Get +1. We have a 1. Do we have any minuses? No. So we would get a 1. That would put us at 2, and then we had, I think, +2 to it, so it would be at 4. We need a 12, I believe. So we'd need 2 4s. That's actually not that bad. It could be worse.
Always a pleasure to, officers.
Oh, it's a 14. We need 2 5s. Yeah, sure, why not?
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Something worn underneath it.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
So you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He unbuttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
See gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
Shakes his head.
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Give me the armor now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully, A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat.
Why did you lie to me?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union. Some Union hardasses. Lynched him because of the strike. But almost everyone in town knows that. I wish I could tell you more.
Shakes his head.
This is all he knows.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again.
Thank you for your cooperation. All right. -1 empathy. This is a shirt. Yeah, we want to put that on. Okay. We're clearing out whatchamacallits here. Looking good. Progress.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
Wait, I can't see anything interesting.
You don't have a reason to. Yet.
What is this about?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
Reeds. What reed? Alright, well, this is where I'm going to have to call it quits for today. Once again, we have made progress today, and it feels so good. I can actually do something, game, and I don't just have to run around doing nothing and not knowing what I'm supposed to do and how to progress, and it feels so good. I need to cook some food today, so I'm going to be dipping out. Thank you for joining me on this wonderful Thursday. Appreciate it. Doesn't look like there is much streaming going on, so I'm just going to drop you guys off into the wilderness. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See you the next time I see you. Peace. Cover that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yup. That is precisely what it is. Wow, you could see it real bad there in the corner. Ooh-wee. Okay. You know I was going for the back air, I guess. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was incredible. Rolling on the platform. That was beautiful. I'm marking that one. At any rate, it's good to have you with us. No, it is not. He's a vampire. The pleasure is mine. See, the pleasure is his. He knows what he's doing.